We've all been to those impromptu jam sessions. You and your buddies are hanging out, playing some songs. Somebody calls out a song. Everybody either pulls it up on their phone or just takes a look at whoever's leading the jam session and just follows along. Everybody plays the exact same chords. I'm not here to tell you that there's anything wrong with that, because that can actually be a lot of fun. But I am here to tell you there's one simple trick that can take the jam session from sounding something like this to sounding more like this. The good news is, I don't think you need to learn anything new. If you already know how to play some basic open chords and a couple of bar chords, you're going to be able to do this no problem by using your trusty CAPO. All you really have to do is know where to put your CAPO and then know what chords to play based on what the other person's playing. I'm going to show you where I think the best place to put the CAPO is for all 5 of our open position keys: C, A, G, E, and D, which I think are the most common guitar keys. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video where I have an extra bonus tip telling you how you can do this really easily using Ultimate Guitar as well. Ah yes, the CAPO. The cheater clamp, as some call it, the guitar player's favorite crutch. Now, I'm not one of those people that thinks that this is a crutch, although I know it can be used that way. I think this is a fantastic tool for opening up the sounds available to you on your instrument. The guitar is an instrument that really thrives on open strings, and I think we should really utilize those open strings and the sounds that we can get in open keys instead of relying on bar chords all the time. So to start us off, here's one guitar playing in the key of G. So let's just add another guitar playing the same thing. So here's 2 guitars playing in the key of G. I think it sounds good, but it can sound better. Now here's 2 guitars playing together in the key of G, but one's using a capo and playing different chord shapes. That sounds pretty cool, right? So let's talk about how it's done, so by the end of this video, you're going to be able to do this exact same thing at your next jam session. First things first, I've made a cheat sheet to make your life even easier. So if you take a look at the left-hand side of the page, you're going to see a box that tells you when you're in a certain key, or when someone's in a certain key, where you need to capo and what key you need to play in. So for example, you're going to notice here, when someone's in the key of G, the best place you can put your capo is on 5, and you're going to be playing out of the key of D. Now if that's confusing, hang on, it's going to get easier. If you take a look at the right side of our cheat sheet, you're going to see horizontally all the chords in each key lined up. So for instance, when you're in the key of G, you have G, you have A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor. Now we're going to skip the 7th degree for now because we don't often see that diminished chord, and then we go right back to G. So take a look on the far left where it says G, just go down to D now, and you're going to notice in D, you have D, E minor, F sharp minor, G, A, B minor. We're going to skip over the C thing, and then we're going to come right back to D. So if you follow the guide on the left and you put your capo on 5, what's actually happening now when I play my D chord, I'm actually playing a G just because of where the capo is. When I play my E minor, I'm actually playing an A minor. When I play F sharp minor, I'm actually playing a B minor. When I play G, I'm actually playing a C. When I play A, I'm actually playing a D. When I play B minor, I'm actually playing an E minor, and then eventually wind up back on D. So let's take a look at this example. We've got one guitar playing in the key of G, playing the chords G, C, D, and E minor. When we introduce the capo 5 guitar, we just have to match the chord degrees. So G becomes D, C becomes G, D becomes A, and E minor becomes B minor. And if I just play those chords in the same order, it's going to sound really good, like this. Now you can do this with any key. Let's say, for example, we're playing in the key of E. So we're going to have E, we're going to have A, we're going to have B, we're going to have C sharp minor as our main chords. Now, the best place to put the capo according to our chart is on capo 4. And now what we're going to do is we're going to play in C shape. So we go down to C, and the first chord's C. Okay, so we take E, which was our original first chord. We're going to play a C in its place. When we have A, we're going to play an F with the capo. When it's a B, we're going to play a G. And when it's a C sharp minor, we're actually going to play an A minor. Here's what it sounds like together. Now, if you want your very own copy of this cheat sheet, all you have to do is just head down to the description and there's information on how to get it. Now, while you're down there, if you're finding this helpful, I'd super appreciate it if you could hit the like button, and feel free to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss more content when I put it out. Those actions are completely free to you, and they go a really long way in helping me out so I can keep making more free content like this. The cheat sheet's not completely exhaustive because sometimes we have chords that don't belong. We call these outside chords. They're chords that don't actually go in the key, but sometimes wind up in a song. Fortunately, it's actually pretty easy to account for this. Let's say, for example, we're in the key of C and somebody plays this progression. So one of those chords isn't actually in the key of C. If you take a look at the chart, you're going to notice the E that I played should actually be an E minor. Now, this isn't the end of the world, and it's actually really easy to account for. Let's say you're the guy with the capo, and if you look at your chart, when we're in the key of C, the best place to capo is going to be 5th fret, and now you're going to be playing in G shapes. The chord in question here in the key of C was E. So let's take a look at the E minor chord. That's what it's supposed to be. Go down to the key of C and see which chord that lines up with. You'll notice that when someone's playing an E minor in the key of C, when you've got your capo on, you should be playing a B minor. All we have to do is we have to change the chord in the same way it was changed in the original key. So it went from E minor to E major. All we have to do now is we have to take what would have been a B minor for us and turn it into a B major. If you're thinking all of this is a little bit too confusing and you're going to have all these charts out anytime you want to play along with someone, don't worry. As I promised earlier, I'm going to show you how to do this easily with Ultimate Guitar. All you need is the chart to let you know where to put your capo and to know what key the original song is. So today we're going to use Knockin' on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan as an example. I've got it open here on my iPad, and as you can see, it's in the key of G. We've got the chords G, C, D, and A minor. Now, instead of having to go through the whole process every single time you see a chord and figure out, if I'm playing a G, look at your chart, now I gotta play a D. If I'm playing an A minor, look at your chart, now you gotta play an E minor. There's a really easy way to deal with this in Guitar Pro. If you go up to the top right-hand corner, there's this transpose button. You're gonna click that and you're gonna see -1 and +1. Realistically, you can go either way. I'm gonna go ahead and click the +1 button a bunch of times. I'm gonna click that until the G becomes a D. That's essentially taking us from the key of G to the key of D, and then when we put our capo on capo 5, like we talked about earlier, it's gonna actually put us in the same key, just give us different chord shapes and a totally different sound. It did all the hard work for us, and as long as you're using the same version as somebody else, now you can play in a transposed key using a capo to access a different sound on the guitar. The good news is this works the same between all the keys. All you really have to do is just change the quality of whatever the chord was originally to match with the capo on, and you're going to be totally fine. Something you may have noticed on the cheat sheet above the chord grid is that we've got numbers. That's actually the Nashville number system that gets used a lot when talking about chords here. And if you want to learn more about that, click right here. If you want to go a little bit deeper on capo use, click right here. As always, guys, thank you so much for your time and attention in such a noisy world.